Hey guys, Red Pen Mining here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. This video, okay? I just got up one of my RTX 3070 rigs in an Octominer X8 here, and I'm gonna mine Pearl with this thing. So I've had this rig for quite a while. It's just been sitting, and we all know that Pearl mining has been exploding, and well, we'll see how long it lasts. But I want to show you guys that there's a new mining pool in which it will already auto-convert for you into Bitcoin. So that's what I'm really excited for, because I don't want to go through an exchange. Well, actually I'm in Canada, so I'm unable to use like Safe Trade and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have access to that exchange. I know that's the most popular one. I know there's OTC for Pearl, but I'm not going to use those. I'm going to be using a pool called Cryptex. And so Cryptex just enabled auto conversion for Bitcoin for mining Pearl with your GPUs. So I'm just going to show you guys how I'm going to do that today. Thank you for Cryptex for sponsoring today's video. Guys, let's go. I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to turn this thing on and see if it goes into my HiveOS account. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do it through HiveOS. Very easy, but I'll also explain how there's also a Windows option for people who have Windows machines. So I'll see you guys in the computer with my 3070 8x3070 rig on. Okay, actually, before we get into the computer, before I show you guys here, I've been at this for the past, I don't know, I'm gonna say the past 2 hours now, well, maybe 3 hours now, and I'm having a heck of a time. I think the mining gods are punishing me because I haven't been GPU mining for a very long time. As most of you know, I've been in the whole AI thing now. These GPU riser, or my R8s here, are actually rented out to someone who is running a simulation on my 170HXs. Anyways, I switched out the GPUs from this Octominer. I was trying to figure out and troubleshoot this Octominer with those GPUs in here for the past like couple hours, and it just wasn't working. I changed out the SSDs and tried different NICs, Ethernet, and I'm gonna try this new Octominer because it just wasn't, it was registering on HiveOS, but it kept conking out for some reason. I don't know why. So I hope that this one works. I am imaging a new SSD right now, and let's see if this works. So I'll see you guys in the computer again. Okay, so after battling with HiveOS here, they're definitely having some type of glitch, because no matter what I did, no matter what I changed on the hardware side itself, it didn't matter. It was HiveOS that was glitching out for me. So what fixed it for me was, thankfully, I had a different farm, because I removed all my rigs on this farm that I was going to showcase with you guys. But thankfully, I just took a rig config from my other rigs that I had in my barn and just put it on here, and then it worked. Pulling my hair for the past couple hours. Anyways, my friends, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how to mine Pearl within HiveOS here. It's very easy. Unfortunately, HiveOS has not put in the, I guess, the flight sheet parameters, like hasn't put in the pools and whatnot. So we do have to do some custom stuff here, which I'll show you how to do. It's very, very easy. Okay, and I just tested it just to make sure it works, and I do have my 3070s here. All 8 of them are mining Pearl, and I'm using SRB miner, getting about 58 terahash, almost 60 terahash, and at about 150 watts or so. And yeah, it's connected to Cryptex here, and I'm getting paid out into Bitcoin. So yeah, this is really good. This is what I've been wanting, and yeah, I don't have to go through trading into Bitcoin myself. So I'll show you guys how payouts work and all that kind of stuff. I'll go through that later on in this video. So let's go through first. So once you get your rig onto your farm, okay, if you're using HiveOS, is then you want to add a wallet. So you can either do it in the wallet tab here, or you simply, if you're in your rig here, you can go to flight sheet, okay, and where I already have one here. So the coin, okay, so once you're in the flight sheet, you're going to go to coin, and you're just going to type in PRL, okay, and it'll show up Pearl. Then wallet, okay, you can simply add the wallet here. Okay, this is where we're going to be adding our Cryptex, okay, Cryptex wallet, which you have to create an account. So link down below. If you haven't signed up with Cryptex already, I'll have a link to sign up. And once you sign up, you have to input your email, create a password, do all that stuff, and register. Then once you have that, you can navigate to the Pearl pool. If you go to pool.cryptex.com, they'll have the Pearl pool right here. It'll say start mining. And you can see they say they have the auto exchange into Bitcoin. So this is the easiest way to, just create an account. You can do the wallet, the Pearl wallet way, but I found that way to be more cumbersome. And so I'm not even gonna show that way. So we're gonna show the username way. Okay, this is your username for your account on Cryptex. So once you're logged in, you can go to My Wallets at the top and you can see that there's your Cryptex username, essentially. This is going to be your wallet address for HiveOS here. Okay, so once we put that in, hit create. Okay, then that's going to be your wallet address there. Then pool. So you're going to want to configure in miner because HiveOS has not populated any of this information for Pearl mining at all. And I think that constitutes as to why I was having so many issues trying to connect my rig, a new rig on. But anyways, besides the point. So now you want to type in custom miner. Okay. We're going to be doing a custom miner. So make sure it says custom there. Then you want to go to setup miner config. Okay. So here are the HiveOS parameters. All right. That we are going to use for mining on your GPUs, your NVIDIA GPUs mainly. Miner name, you're going to want to just simply copy the installation URL, which I will have linked down below, okay, to SRB Miner Multi version 3.3.4. Maybe as of this video comes out, there's probably going to be a new one. And so you're going to want to copy this, okay, the custom miner for HiveOS. So to use it, you need to select custom miner when you create the flight sheet and paste this into the installation URL. So you want to copy this one right here, this link, and you want to paste it right into the installation URL right here. So once that's done, then you want to go hash algorithm, make sure it's on Pearl, Pearl hash, okay, wallet and worker name template. Simply just do this. You click on this I, and it'll populate here, but it's actually going to take it from the extra config arguments, which I'll explain here in a second. So pool URL. This is where you're going to get it from the Cryptex pool here. So there's actually two places where you can get this. So they'll have this on pool.cryptex.com/PRL, right on the pool information here. They'll have all the different servers based on your geography. So just pick the one that's closest to you. So for me, I did North America, but you can just do global and it will make sure to port you to the correct server. Okay, so you can do it that way as well. So once you have your server locked in there, you're going to paste it in right into the pool URL, password X, and then extra config arguments. You'll also want to make sure this is all here. I'm not going to go through this. I will blow this up on the screen. You guys can pause the video. Make sure you have this information in the extra config arguments because SRB Miner says that we must set everything manually through the extra config arguments field using the SRB parameters. Okay, so apparently we have to do it that way. Otherwise, it's not going to show up correctly, or it's not going to work correctly. So once that's all done, then you apply changes, okay, and click save. Okay, for me it says update because I already created it, but just hit save. And then you're going to want to now figure out, before you set the flight sheet, you want to set your overclocks. Okay, so overclocking for my 3070s, I simply got this from hashrate.no. Okay, hashrate.no. If you go to mining, go to GPUs. Then for me, for my 3070s, I just went and checked just the general, these are just general overclocks. You guys don't have to use these, but this is just where I got it. I haven't done any fine tuning or anything. I normally do it, but we'll see how long this Pearl mining will last. But anyways, I just took the information from here. You guys can search up your GPUs, the relative, efficiency numbers, and you can play around that. You don't have to do, exactly what everyone is doing. But I did 50, 1380, 5001, You can see here. So you can feel free to copy that for, this is just 30 series, 40 series, 50 series could be different. So just keep that in mind. But I'm getting 58 terahash at about 150 watts. So I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But anyways, yeah, once your overclocks are set, okay, now you can go back to flight sheet and set the flight sheet. Okay, so just by clicking this set flight sheet button on the right. Okay, so once that's done, then your rig is going to connect and start mining on Cryptex. Okay, so let me show you the dashboard here for Cryptex. Okay, so this is why I'm using it now, because I hated going, I couldn't go through Safe Trade unless I used a VPN. I know a lot of people do that anyway, but I didn't want to do that. But anyways, so if you go to hardware on the left, top left, then you can see your rig connected. Okay, you can see my Octominer 01 here, and it is connected here, and it says it's earning about $15 every 24 hours. Obviously I just connected it, so it's probably going to show a little bit more than that, but that's going to be dependent on Pearl's price, of course, which kind of is going down as of recording this video. So hopefully we'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, so now let's talk about the payouts. Okay, so since this is already automatically, once you're mining to your account here, this your username on the top right, it's gonna automatically convert it into Bitcoin for you. Okay, so you're gonna be earning well, that's if you want to be paid out in Bitcoin. So you can actually be paid out in USDT, BEP20, USDT, USDC, and a bunch, other coins, Litecoin, Ethereum. You can get paid out in these other ones if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin, but what it's going to natively do is convert what you're mining here already into Bitcoin natively, like on their platform. So you can see here my BTC amount, it's already spooling up here. Okay, so you can get these other ones here, but of course it's going to do a bit of conversion. There is an exchange rate. They're probably going to take a little bit of fee, right? It says there's a little bit of fee here. So ultimately, I think doing it in Bitcoin is probably going to be a bit better, but they have gift cards and USDT to USD, PayPal, they have a few other payout methods here. So yeah, that's how it's very easy to do. Then you don't need to, sign into any exchange. And yeah, this is the easy way to get paid out. And if you just want Bitcoin, which ultimately is what I want to do, and I think everyone else is wanting to do. But hopefully that Pearl's price can hopefully have some sustainability here. But depends on if everyone is going to be mining into Bitcoin. We'll see how long that lasts. But anyways, guys, yeah, so that's how you do the HiveOS method. Okay, it's very, very easy here. So now for people that with Windows, okay, so I'm not going to go through how to do the Windows install, but it's very easy here. So the Cryptex miner for Windows, okay, it's extremely easy. You literally just download it and you install it in Windows. There's nothing special you have to do. So once it's installed, once you open it and it's tied to your Cryptex account, your username, okay, the same thing that you just signed up with, it's gonna then do a bunch of auto tuning. Like it's gonna test a bunch of algorithms. Of course, as of right now, Pearl mining is gonna be the most profitable one. So that'll take a couple hours, I think. And also as well, if you wanted to, you don't want to make sure your GPU is at 100%, install MSI Afterburner. You can download it from guru3d.com. Afterburner, you can then, maybe up the fan speed, down volt it, do it that way, or just make sure you're, if you're doing it on a PC case or something, that you have the window pane off and you actually make sure you have a lot of airflow going through it, because most likely people that are mining in Windows are going to be people with like gaming PCs and etc. So yeah, very, very easy to use for the Windows one. But I think majority of you guys watching me are probably Linux users or HiveOS users. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know down below if you're mining with Windows. But it's profitable. It's very profitable right now. Currently, it was more so maybe last week. But now now that a lot of people are coming on, my 3070 rig, if it's just started here, $15 in the next 24 hours. Of course, we'll see how long that takes, if that's actually going to sustain. But that's it, guys. That's how you mine to Cryptex. It's very easy, getting paid out in Bitcoin, and I think this is the way to go. So, okay, my friends, that's it. That's all I wanted to do in this video. Thank you for Cryptex for sponsoring this video. I'm definitely going to be turning on a few more rigs and probably take down the profitability for Pearl mining. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out.